Hello, everybody. What's up? Let me fix my camera a little bit. All right, there we go. Hello. What's up, everybody? We are live on the backup channel. Um, shoot. What am I looking for? I forgot what the hell I was looking for, y'all. Anybody here yet? I forgot to pull up the damn comment. Hold on. Because there's a comment that I want to read, and I'm trying to find it. Okay. Okay, this is where the comment is. All right. Hello everybody. The title is not clickbait at all. The title is real. I just wanted to let you guys know it is not clickbait. It is 100% real. What's up, Brown Eye Cancer? What's up, Bass Girl? What's up? Or is it Bass? Is it Bass Girl? What's up, Shell? How you doing? And tell those people to stop calling you Michelle. Like, I was like, no, it's not Michelle. No, it's, and I'll just be all like, whatever. You know, you get tired of correcting people. So that's probably how you feel. What's up, Joy? Hello. Oh, you just got out of church. Okay, well, I'm not going to be too disrespectful. So, you know, you don't have to worry about my mouth. What's up, Quinn? Lovely Quinn. Shout out to you. Capital N. Yes, a capital N. Exactly. What's up, Miss Johnny? How you doing? Okay, yes. At base as in base. Yes. Okay, I got it right. All right, got it right. Okay. Good. Shout out to everybody coming in the room. Let's go ahead and play the intro and allow more people to come in the room, and we'll get started. Yeah, this is not a clickbait video. Like, I really want to apologize to them, of course, in the AT2 way, but. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? What's up? All right. So, of course, before we start, I must let you guys know that on August 21st to the 23rd, not October, because Lady Letitia said something about October, and I was like, that's not what I said at all. August 21st through the 23rd is our next meetup in Las Vegas again. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Yes, it's in Las Vegas again. Don't worry. We're going to be all around the world. Don't even trip, y'all. But yes, the 21st to the 23rd, I am excited. It's going to be very hot, so clothing is optional because, yeah, it's going to be hot. And we're only hanging out at night. You know, it's going to be 6 o'clock and past that, you know, into the wee hours because, whoo, yes, it's going to be hot. But about the video, I wanted to apologize to Madgie and Ralph. And the reason why I want to apologize to them is because, like, it's not that deep for me. I think for other people, it's a little more deep, but for me, it's not that deep. They're literally just YouTube. For me, it's just YouTube banter. It's not that serious at all. For me, I'm really like, okay, like, I don't really care about Ralph and Maggie's relationship. I don't care if it's real or fake. It's obviously fake, right? But I honestly don't care. It's just funny to me, right? Because you have these people who are in a particular age bracket and they are pretending to be in relationships. Like, it's real old and petty, right? That was my thought process. But Madgie did a video. I forgot what the title was, but it was something like I hate this person, or I'm exposing this person. I know it's just clickbait or whatever, but honestly, to tell you the truth, like, my issue with them is not that deep. Whatever issues that I have with them, I can honestly let it go. And so I'm here to say that I apologize if I've ever made them feel a kind of way about themselves. That was not my intention. It's just literally YouTube banter. There was also too, because the whole bum thing, I do not remember calling Ralph a bum. I know I said that the other day, but I want to say it again. I do not remember calling him a bum at all. Even when he was going through the whole thing with the Freeman guy in the farm, I was all like, oh, I'm backing away from this because this seems really deep. And it seemed like a personal matter, right? I wasn't doing like videos on Ralph because Ralph was never like my content like that. And we were, I wouldn't say cool, I'll say cordial. And then it was like when he came back into the fold, after being gone for 8 months, all of a sudden, he had this stick up his ass, and, he was going after everybody who he felt that disregarded him or left him alone. And it's all like, oh, you ran away. You went away, What's up, Princess? Getting your pump on. Okay. Okay, Princess. What's up, Catherine? What's up, Lee B? Yes, hit that like button. So he has this gripe with everybody because he wants to prove that he's not a bum. And this is why he did the whole thing, the look at my house and all of that, because he wanted to prove, yeah, I got a house now, so what? Okay, and we're happy for you. It's not your house, but we're happy for you. Like, we're happy that you are in a stable home. Now, anything about it, and trust me, here's the thing, on YouTube, they're always calling people broke or poor or this or that. Like, they're always saying those things. So it doesn't matter. Like, they say I live in my uncle's house and I live somewhere in the basement. Okay. I never trip off of that. They talk about how, I never had this, I never had that. And, they don't speak about me highly either, But I roll with the punches, so I give it back. I'm not over here crying like, oh my God, they said I live in my uncle's house. Like, there's just some shit you got to get over. And obviously for Ralph, he is not over it. He feels like he has to prove himself. So, for me, I'm all like, hey, whatever issue that you have with AT2, you're going to have that with yourself. There is no issue. But you trying to throw digs and slights at me for whatever reason, I'm not really understanding, because, again, I've never called him a bum. Now, did I use that situation with the whole farm against him? Yeah, when he came at me, I used that against him. I weaponized it, right? I honestly still don't understand that situation. All I know is that his name was not on any lease or anything like that. So yeah, you had to get out that man's house. That's fair. No conspiracy or anything like that. Your name was not on the lease. You had to get out that man's house. Simple as that. Madgie, I don't have an issue with Madgie at all. I think the things that Madgie does is very calculated and manipulative and damn right evil, but I don't hate the lady at all. For me, I'm all like, okay, well, if you can do all these titles, thumbnails, and videos and stuff like that, then you can get this work, right? That's the way that I think about it. But I think for Madgie, I think she honestly is disappointed in me. I feel like she expected more out of me, where compared to other people, yeah, they're not shit and they might drag her and say, worse things than I have ever said, but she expects more out of me considering that I am the godfather of YouTube. Now, speaking of godfather, I always was the godfather of YouTube, like just not the black tea sector. So anyone else going around calling themselves the godfather, they have every right to do that. But there is only one, and he's right here. Thank you. Also to more or less go into what I'm trying to get to is that, hey, I came on here and said there's only one person that I actually have an issue with, and that who I do not like, or not just not like, who I actually hate. There's only one person on this platform. So me, attacking the other people, I just seen it as YouTube banter, but they don't like when and I understand that I do have an influence with my voice and stuff like that, so I am able to sway an audience. So knowing that, I have to be more careful in the things that I say. So I'm going to say that, there's no beef, no issue. It's not that deep, yeah, not that deep for me. I only have one real issue with somebody, but other than that, all the other people, I wish you the best of luck. There was a comment that was left the other day, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It said, I really love your videos and commentary on your main channel, but have a hard time listening to all the cussing on this channel. No shade, just honesty. And, and I got that comment the other day, right? And I was all like, oh, wow. When I come over here, I am like a totally different person, I'm not the, cool, calm speaker or educator that I am on my main channel. And it's all like, why do I convert or become this person that is unrecognizable or that I don't like? And I don't have to do that, I don't have to do that. And I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't. I should expect better out myself. And you should expect better from me, So I don't ever want to conflate what I do on my main channel with what I do and say on my backup channel. But at the same time, just because it's a backup channel doesn't mean that it gives me the right to act a fool, It does not give me the right to act a fool. So I want to go ahead and put that out there, that thank you for that person who left the comment. And it's not that they don't want to be displayed or anything like that. I just didn't ask them for permission, so I'm not going to put it up. But thank you for leaving that comment, because it really put things into perspective. And this is why I was all like, okay, AT2, just apologize to them so they can so you can be done with it. Again, it's not necessarily like I think, oh, they're going to change and be so nice to me. They definitely won't be nice to me. They still going to drag me, make me content. But for me, I'm just not doing it with them back and forth. Like, I understand the stuff that I say, it hurts their feelings. So, all right, I'll just let it go. They can drag me or whatever. I don't care. What's up, Virgo child? Lady T said, yes, peace and moving with a positive purpose. We are better than these people. Yes, exactly. What's up, Queen B More? I'm sorry, I don't agree. It absolutely does give you that right. Oh, you think that I should drag them? Oh, I mean, there'll be times, when we terrorize the YouTube streets, that'll be my chance to drag them. But I don't have to go low with them. I understand, like, even though the shit they say about me is not right, because the shit that they say about me is definitely not okay. But at the end of the day, I can take it. With them, obviously, they can't take it. They have to go on long monologues and, dissertations about how AT2 is the worst person ever. So let them have it. And my issue is only with one person and one person only. So I need to live that, you know? Although I don't particularly care for all these beasts, but if that feeds you, then so be it. And you know what? It doesn't feed me. And the reason why is because I hate being a good person, but it don't make me feel good shitting on people. Believe it or not, because I'm a person about unity, you know? I'm a person that's really about unity. And to shit on people, like, why would you just shit on them? Just don't deal with them, right? That's more or less what it is. Why shit on them? Just don't, like, my work and the stuff that I do, that's me shitting on them, right? Because these are people that have to go live for hours and hours and hours, and I can do a 10 to 15-minute video and make more money than them from ad revenue from them begging online all day. You know, that red hair woman is on that full platform talking shit. Red hair woman. Who's the red hair woman? What's up, Hawan? The red hair woman. I don't know who that is. Red hair woman. Yes, we trying to eat and get money, enjoy life with meetups, and yes, with the grown and sexy, right? I don't like being the bigger person too. But it will work out in the end. Listen, you can be about unity on your other account, but you can do whatever you want. Yes, I know Queen B. See, Queen B more trying to get me to be evil. Like, I don't want to do that, you know? Oh, I know who you're talking about. You know, I never addressed that situation with my old friend. I never addressed that situation publicly because literally nothing happened. Like, we had a last communication on Instagram message, and then that was it, and that was months ago. So whatever they feel like they need to do, you know, by all means do it. My thing is, like, I realize when it's more personal, like when you have spent time with these people in real life, and then they want to turn on you or they want to go the other route or whatever, that's more personal. So for me, I don't want to make that content. And then secondly, it's all like, I'm not going to feed them because they need me to interact in order. So, you know, me like being all like, yeah, I'm gonna drag you and I'm gonna do this. It's not going to help me, but it's going to do wonders for them. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. What's up, Diamond? I'm just saying whatever you feel like. Wait, huh? Who is the redhead? We figured out who it was. What Miss Johnny say? Hold on. Don't ever change. You're hilarious, and especially when you drag. A little cussing ain't killed nobody. I probably fall into the old head. No, it's not that I'm not going to cuss. Like, no, of course I would. You know, I'll throw it because even on my main channel I cuss. But there's a certain, you know, the black tea sector brings the worst out of you. You know, that's the thing. The black tea sector, it's a certain kind of, like, I couldn't imagine going out to somebody in the street and be like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I couldn't imagine that. Just randomly walking up to a person. Because you got to think about this. These are like random interactions that you have with strangers. Like, these aren't people like, you know how like you have a friend and you have a falling out with your friend, and there's like a certain amount of betrayal, there's a lot of love, a lot of emotions behind it. These people you have never met. So it's hard to have like those same kind of emotions in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's hard for me to have like that. And in this thing online, it kind of puts you in a this social peril. So wait, what am I trying to say? Not paranormal. What's the word for when you have like parasocial? Ding 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 ding. I was saying it backwards. Parasocial relationship. No, you're not in trouble. What's up, Denitria? Yeah, you have like this parasocial relationship, right? So you have these parasocial relationships with people that it makes it kind of weird, because it's all like, okay, these are probably people that you'll never meet in real life. These are people that don't really matter. Like, they don't change your living situation, your well shit. They be trying to get people fired from their jobs so they can, but essentially they can't hurt you in real life. But online, because of all the slanderous shit that they do, it bothers you, so it makes you want to respond. But at the end of the day, it's all like, why do I care? Like, do I really care? No. Even like when y'all are telling me like there's somebody on somebody, you were telling me that there's a person on somebody's panel or whatever, like that still doesn't bother me. Like, I written that situation off a few months ago, so it's not something that I'm all like, oh my god, I can't believe, you know, like, because really the only thing that they could ever say was that, oh, we would hang out and we would have a good time. There's I promise you, anything that's being said is not true, other than we would hang out and have a good time. Just like during the meetup, there wasn't really anything that anyone could say about me, but we had a good time. There's nothing you could say. There's nothing that you could say. You know, well, Tox had something to say, but that's a different story, right? You know what I mean? That's a different story with her. But there's really nothing that you could say. Like, anyone that has met AT2 in person falls in love with me. I'm not being cocky. And even with Tox, Tox is upset because she expects everybody to bow at her feet. But at the end of the day, she was like, oh, I love AT2. AT2 is so cool and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And then when she got mad at me again, she was like, oh, he's a predator. So you got to think about when these people be getting mad at you and shit like that. Like, they love you and everything like that. They literally be eating your ass. And then all of a sudden, they flip and then change the script. And you be like, wait, hold on. That's not what you were saying. That's not, huh? You know what I mean? And I always say the good about people before I say the bad. I don't be switching up on people like a lot of y'all. Yeah, like a lot of y'all do. I don't switch up on people like that. And especially if I have met you and spent time with you, I don't just switch up on people like that. Like, there's some people, I will say, that try to get information out of you so then they can then use it against you. What's up, Stephanie? They can then use it against you. But that's not what I don't look to do that. I don't look to I'll give you a perfect example. Wiley's meetup. Like, when Wiley had his meetup a couple of years ago, I didn't go with the intent like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get the tea on Wiley and I'm gonna spread his business and all this other stuff. No, I didn't go with that intent. Mind you, he didn't want me to go, but I didn't go. I didn't go with that intent, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and ruin it, and I'm a da 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 da. No, I went to see the people who I wanted to see, and Wiley was cordial. That's it. You didn't hear me go like, oh yeah, well Wiley was doing da 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 da. Now I did say because he had a ride and a car, he was able to go places, you know, back and forth, back and forth. All of us was Ubering, and I thought, like, well, damn, like, don't you know that the Uber is hella expensive and we're going back and forth? Your ass need to stay in one motherfucking place, and that's it. And there was no itinerary. But that was a fair criticism. That wasn't like, or that was a critique. I don't want to say criticism. That was a critique, right? But you didn't hear me come on like, oh yeah, Wiley, he was stinking and he was trying to do this. And you didn't hear me say that. Did you hear me say that? No, you didn't. Because I that's not something that I went to do, was try to overtake or try to embarrass him or try to get information. That's not who I am. You know? Oh Lord, we were doing well. No, I didn't say anything. No. I'm not saying that. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I wasn't saying that he's saying. I was just saying like I wasn't going with that intent to try to bury him and stuff like that. You know, there's somebody who met me and said, "Oh yeah, he was stinking. I had to air out my car and all that." That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. But you know, that's what I was saying. Like that's what I was referencing. Like I didn't go with any ill will or any bad intentions, you know. Thank you, Lady T. I appreciate that. Yeah. But I was gonna say everything that I want to do for the most part is like inside. So yeah, that's the weather is not a concern for me, really, you know. It's not a big deal like, oh yeah, I want to be outside, all that. No, not at all. You know, unless it's by a pool or some body of water, some body of water, I don't, yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and do a free promo. Make sure you guys are there. August, we are almost a month away, you guys. That is crazy. August 21st to the 23rd. Make sure you guys book your room, your flights, and everything like that. Rooms are actually not that bad. It's more of the flights that you guys have to worry about. The rooms aren't that bad at all. They have a lot of deals because they're trying to bring people back to Vegas. And you know, I was talking with Ryan, and Ryan want to go see Jeezy because he's doing he has a residency. But I don't know. I would be down depending on Jeezy is kind of expensive. Mama like, wait, I only know about 5 songs from Jeezy. Like, why is it so expensive? We're gonna have to go to one of them timeshares to try to see a free. Not the timeshare. Is Shell still in here? That goddamn scam of a fucking timeshare. Oh my god. Can't believe that. Oh yeah, I would be down for a comedy show. Yeah, burlesque too. Like, I'd rather just go to the strip club to see a burlesque show, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I much rather go to a strip joint to see a burlesque than a burlesque show. You know what? To be fair, I've been to Absinthe, but that's not really a burlesque show. I don't know how you would describe it. Look up Absinthe at whatchamacallit, at the Caesar's Palace, and you'll know what I'm talking. Like it's a combination of things, but I don't know if you would call that a burlesque show per se. It's kind of like a circus almost. I don't know. Oh, you're a huge Yeezy fan? I'm just trying to make sure I get some comments. Okay. All right. So anyway, and by the way, thank you guys for letting me know what was going on by the betrayal of people. Like I said, I written that situation off a couple of months ago. It does not bother me, and you're not going to be able to get any clout from me. Like you gonna have to go and get the clout from somewhere else, but it ain't gonna be me. We're not even in the same sector, so yeah, no thank you. And the beef sector is dead too, so no thank you. Anyway. Now male strippers, yes, no, that's not. No, I was thinking of the titty bar, but but you do what you must. Damn it, I literally just bought. That's very, yeah, those tickets were expensive too for Usher and Chris Brown. Yeah, those were hella expensive. Like I was like, whoa. Um, I was thinking about going there. I was like, nah. I mean, technically, I still can go. There's actually a couple of concerts. I wanted to go to the Chris Brown and Usher one, but then I wanted to also see, and this is in early August, so I can probably swing it. The Jill Scott. I've always been a Jill Scott fan, so I wanted to go to see Jill Scott. I might. But anyway, moving on from that. So okay, so Madgie in the panel that she had. So Phantom had went over there, and I gotta give credit to Phantom because I always just thought Phantom was a coon. I never thought like he had a brain or anything like that. I just thought like, oh, he just COON, and he just lets white people say the N word all day long on his panel. Like that's what I thought, right? And I still do think that because that is factual, right? That's not a lie. But I didn't know that he had like a little hood in him, and he was able to go there when he needed to because he definitely went on Madgie panel and shook it up. He went after Golden and Ralph, and he was all like, well, what happened with y'all when he went to the house or whatever? And honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't realize how strange that situation was because did y'all know when Ralph went over there, she was dealing with somebody else too? So I was all like, oh, so you were already dealing with somebody and then you had Ralph over there and you was trying to put that punani on him? Oh, you a freak. I ain't mad. Listen, we all about sexual revolution and everything like that. I ain't mad at her. She tried to put that kitty cat on Ralph and she had a dude. Yes, I will. Yeah, I was responding to. Hold on, I was responding to a text message. I'm sorry. No, yeah, I'm not. I don't have a kitty, and I wouldn't put my kitty on anywhere. Oh no. Let's be clear, because people will run with something and clip it and make it seem something that it's not, right? So anyway, damn, what was I saying? Oh. The Ralph and Golden thing was very strange to me. Like she gave him $10 for a fence. Now, what fence can you buy for $10? Anyway, the situation was weird, but Phantom was trying to make a point. And I gotta agree with Phantom. He was all like, so you guys can insert yourself because remember, Ben is his friend. You guys can insert yourself in Ben and Sammy's drama, but you don't want nobody talking about y'all. I was like, damn, this boy good. Because I didn't even think about that. Because at first it was looking like, okay, well, why is he over there? Like, when did Ralph, Golden, and Phantom, but I guess Golden goes to Phantom's channel all the time. But when did Ralph and Phantom cross paths, What's up, Darcy? When did they cross paths at all? Like, I wasn't understanding it and I wasn't getting it. Well, the whole point was like, hey, y'all be talking shit about Ben because remember, Ralph went over to Sammy's channel and was trying to talk shit to Ben, but they never reacted with each other. So it's all like, why did you have so much smoke for Ben And why were you over at Sammy's? Why did you have so much smoke for Ben? And you be all over the place. Just like I said the other day, Ralph be all over everybody else's channel, but only 10 people be watching him talk about chakras and auras and energy. So something is not translating, right? And like I said, he was gone for 8 months, came back and was all buddy with Madgie, but he never liked Madgie in the beginning. So this was all kind of weird. And I'm all like, oh, this motherfucker clout chasing. So then you go to Snoopy, and Snoopy, I didn't even know she had a beef with Ralph, but she'd been airing it all out where she was all like, you know, you are so hungry. You are begging for a bag of rice. And me and my husband, we gave you a bag of rice. She said rice. She rolled her R because I think she's Irish. She's on a bag of rice. And so I guess Ralph, you know, when he used to have the sister wives and stuff like that, a lot of them left her because, oh, thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. A lot of those women left him because he was always asking for money and they felt like they were being scammed. And so, you know, Maria was all like, not Maria, oh, sorry. Snoopy was all like, yeah, you remember me and my husband, we gave you a bag of rice because you were so hungry and your belly was empty. So, hey, hold on. We about to make a full circle moment. This is why Ralph doesn't like being called a bum. Because again, I never called him a bum. But, you know, the word bum was placed on him. And so it's because those women were giving him money and supplying his life. And now, you know, he's trying to prove like he's a man and he got it all and he ain't got to worry about nothing. He ain't got to beg for nothing. And listen, I ain't too proud to beg, and ain't nothing wrong with begging, but you know, don't pretend like you have it either, because obviously he doesn't have it, but he's pretending like he have it. Rice, yeah, she said we gave you a bag of rice. Hold on, y'all, hold on. She was all like, you are so hungry and your belly was so empty. Me and my husband, we gave you a bag of rice. Yo, I was all like, damn, he was just rice, like no meat, just rice. I was all like, damn, shit. We gave you a bag of rice. And yes, I do use bag of rice. I know how to cook real rice, y'all, but that should be too difficult. So I just like doing the bag of rice. It's just easy. Just throw it in there and you just boil the shit. So yes, I use Success 10-minute rice. That's the one that I use. And this is not sponsored, so YouTube don't flag the video. This is not sponsored at all. That's just the rice I use. Let's see you play a bag of rice. So yeah, so he was what's up, Cassandra? So he was broke and struggling, and you know, she gave him a bag of rice. But again, I thought Snoopy came from Madgie. I didn't realize that she came from Ralph and then went to Madgie. So her story is interesting. And you know, and remember, she said that he wanted to, he was threatening to put a bullet in somebody's head, and I thought it was V Goddess, but V Goddess said it wasn't her, so I heard the name wrong, so I apologize. But she said that he wanted to put a bullet in somebody's head, and like I was like, whoa, like what is going on? Like yeah. Because the other thing was Madgie was playing the audio that Snoopy was playing from Ralph, right? And Ralph was all like, "Oh, I don't really want to hear the audio, blah blah blah." And then Madgie was like, "No, we must listen to the audio." And so she kept playing the audio, and I know he was getting pissed because, like, what other audios are out there of Ralph and the shit that he used to say and do? Um, just like I'm not gonna give this person credit, but there was another crackhead that was saying, like, yeah, and you told me this and that about Madgie. And here's the thing: Madgie might have let it go or whatnot, but you have to honestly look at yourself and be like, damn, I'm hella messy because I'm going from this person to that person sharing information, and then I want to all smile in your face and shit like that. For me, everything that I've said about people behind the scenes, I've said publicly. So there is no secret recording or audio. It's just going to be secret recordings, quote unquote, of me regurgitating the same shit that I've said publicly. But with Ralph, AT2, you can't do a Scottish or French. It's yeah, you listen, if Madgie don't mind it, it is what it is. I'm not mad at it, you know, and I'm not saying Madgie should be mad at it, but you know, it does kind of make you think like, well, shit, what else you be saying? You know, like, do you like what you it makes you think, you know, it makes you think like, okay, well, what should you be talking in your that's why I don't have a Discord, you guys. I do not have a Discord because I don't want to worry about people. No, that whole Discord thing just seems messy. That's why I don't have one. Oh, good eye, Lady T, because I didn't even catch that last part until you said something. Thank you. There was another comment that I missed here. Dang, I should have started. Now I can't see it. But anyway, so when Phantom was up on the panel, he was just kind of going, just showing the hypocrisy. And he was all like, well, damn, why can't we, you know more about you and Gold and what happened with that? Like, why y'all being so secretive? Why can't we pry into that? And he was just trying to prove a point. I honestly don't know why Maria was up there. I don't know if Maria is still here, but Maria, why were you up there? Because I don't even think she said two sentences until the end when Phantom dropped down. But I just didn't know why Maria was up there. Like, I was like, why is Maria up there? Like, so I guess the rumor is true. I guess her and Phantom are in a relationship. And you know, I still think Maria is beautiful. But knowing that she fucking Phantom, I'm like, nah. I'll pass. I'll pass. Yeah, when you know, even if it's like virtual, if you out there just giving your virtual coochie to everybody, like that just turns me off. Like I just can't. Yeah, you just can't be giving your virtual coochie to everybody. Like you, even with the virtual, you gotta keep that. You know, like you gotta keep it tight, keep it right. You know. It seemed people just want to be up on panel because I don't understand why she was up there. Maria, can you explain why you was up there? Because we the people do not understand why you was up there. Maybe she was up there for moral support, but I just didn't really understand because literally, whatchamacallit, Madgie went around to everybody like, you got 2 minutes, you got 2 minutes, you got 2 minutes, you got 2 minutes. And Maria didn't get 2 minutes at all. You know? Oh, because you have one. Hey, listen. It was no point in you being up there, but if you just wanted to be seen, I got you. If you just wanted to be seen, you know, there you go. But I don't understand. I don't understand why he was up there. Phantom was speaking about me when he first came up. Okay, to be fair, I didn't listen to all of it. I just listened to, you know how you watch a video, you listen to the important parts. Everything else is like, Well, what did he say about you, Maria? Because I didn't see you get 2 words in until the end. Do you have the rice clip? I have to find the video because now that I said it, I feel like I'm not going to be able to find it, but I should have screen recorded it. Shout out to Sweet Love. I should have recorded it when I first heard it so I can play that as a commercial, but I promise you, I'm not making that up. I did not make that up. She said, "You were so hungry, your belly was so empty, you were begging for a bag of rice. And me and my husband sent you money for a bag of rice." I promise you, she said that. She said that. I'm not lying. See, y'all be thinking I'm lying about shit, y'all. I don't be lying. Like, I'll be telling the truth. That's what she said. Now, do I put a little extra stank on it? She didn't shake no bag of rice. Well, she don't turn on her camera, but she didn't shake no bag of rice. But she said he was hungry. He needed a bag of rice. I promise you that. You can even ask Snoopy. Snoopy will tell you, yes, I did say that. He was begging for a bag of rice. I would never lie about that, you know? Would never lie. She was begging for a bag of rice. He was begging for a bag of rice, not she. He was begging for a bag of rice. I'm sorry, I can't listen to Madgie if that who you... Yes. Well, it happened on her panel. Not that, not the rice thing. That was something different. But the Phantom and Ralph situation, yeah, that was. And then, yeah, I honestly, to tell you the truth, there was one part where I was all like, Golden, I don't think you'll ever learn. And I'm gonna end off on this one. I don't think you'll ever learn because before Ralph had got up there, it was Golden. What's up, Naughty? It was Golden, Phantom, and Madgie up there, right? Golden, Phantom, and Madgie were up on panel, and he was talking about the whole Ralph going to Golden House thing, right? So then, all of a sudden, she started going off about how he kept bringing up Ralph and going to her house and stuff like that, and she was upset about it. So then this fool goes up and then goes up on panel or whatever, right? Ralph, and he was all like, now I don't understand why Golden always explaining stuff, and I tell her don't explain nothing to these people, blah blah blah, and I'm upset that she's speaking on it. Well, listen, Ralph, who the fuck are you to tell her not to speak on her own shit? Mind you, we would have never known that you went to her fucking house. Oh, Lady Letitia is here. We would have never known you went to her fucking house if you didn't put that out there. Because correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, Ralph was the one that aired out Golden, not Golden aired out Ralph. Can y'all clarify that for me real quick? Because what I remember is all of a sudden he did a live on his channel and he was going off on Golden. Mind you, I didn't understand why. And then it made it seem like she was like some kind of slut trying to give him that pissoise. That's what I remember. Or did Golden strike first? Now, Golden, if you struck first, then it's definitely on you, right? But Ralph tried to make it seem like she was like, no, Golden was live when Ralph came to her house. Oh, Golden was live when Ralph came to her house. Golden messaged Ralph to come to Maggie's panel. That's just my opinion. Okay, well, okay. So Empress, okay, so Golden went live when she was at Ralph's house. Mind you, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about that shit um until Ralph went off and he did his video. Why did Ralph go off on Golden? He just randomly just went off on her, or like did she do something to make him go off? Because that's when we learned, like, oh, you're supposed to give me, you and your mom said you was give me money for a fence, but you only gave me $10. Which was disrespectful, by the way, because a fence is about 2,500, right, for a fence. So what fence was he getting for $10? But why did he air her out like that? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. Why did he air her out? And like I said, I didn't know anything about it. Like, because I'll be honest, I don't watch Golden, because Golden sometimes will hide videos, and then stuff like, if you be hiding videos and shit like that, I'm not interested, because I ain't got time to like watch it while it's live. And then because Phantom was clowning Golden's I'm gonna say this now, ain't gonna be no salacious rumors of me and AT2 swimming in the ocean. Well, I can't swim, so that would be a rumor. So yeah, I can't swim at all. The Lincoln Law. Listen, the situation was weird, but I just didn't like. Can you drop the link? Oh yeah, Empress, I've never seen you click a link before. Of course. Hold on, I got an exclusive. Yeah, because I still don't understand that situation. Like, how did it become such a public thing? And honestly, to tell you the truth, even if Golden went live while Ralph was at her house, I wouldn't even assume anything. I wouldn't have assumed anything. Like, I wouldn't be all like, oh yeah, they must have. No, Ralph already said he liked white women. So why? Because remember when they asked him about it, he was all like, oh, well, it's because, with black women, I try to. I was like, oh, Lord. And mind you, because, I grew up in the Valley, right? I'm going to let you up in 1 minute, Empress. I grew up in the Valley, and so I kind of felt like, oh, I was shied away from the white kids, and I was shied away from the black kids because I wasn't black and all that stuff. Black suburban kids share a shared experience with mixed or biracial kids too. So like sometimes we can relate to each other in a weird way. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when you become an adult and you're more, acclimated with black people, you grow out of those stereotypes and all that shit. And that's something that Ralph at his old age needs to work out and get over. Okay, here we go. Empress, what's up, Empress? Thank you for coming up.
What's up, fool?
I'm crazy.
Okay, so this was the story that was said. Well, I was actually on one of Ralph's lives when he gave the explanation about him, flipping out on Golden. So what was going on was, okay, I guess Ralph needed funding for some fence or whatever that he was trying to build, right? So Golden and her mom would come in his lives, like all his lives, and talk about, that they were supporting him, and they were going to support him and give money. And Golden's mom was like, she was about to get a check, and she was going to give some of that money to Ralph for the check, or for the fence and all of that.
Yeah,
And
because what kind of check was she getting? Like, was
that's
it like,
and that's what we don't know. What kind of check were you getting? You understand what I'm saying? So when Ralph said, okay, this is what they were doing, and that was true. It was true. They were. They were every chance they got AT2, they was talking about how they were going to support Ralph, right? Okay,
Mhm.
so boom, Golden's mom got the check, but Ralph didn't get any money. So Golden came in alive, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to support you, we're going to support you in other ways, but it's not going to be money."
Oh.
And so Ralph was like, hold up. First of all, I never asked y'all to support me in the first place. I never asked anything from y'all in the first place. Y'all was
Right.
the ones that was coming in on my lives and keep talking about how y'all were going to support me and that your mom was getting a check. And I was like, true. I was like, well, first of all, why are you even telling somebody about you getting a check? That's not nobody business about you getting a check, right?
Right.
So I guess what it was is that either the check wasn't what she was expecting it to be, and maybe they weren't able to support him financially, or maybe she just changed her mind. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay,
Mm.
well, I need this for me and mine. So we're just gonna let him know, okay, well, we're not gonna be able to support you financially. We're not gonna support you financially. We're gonna support you in other ways. So that's what the whole falling out was about,
Got it.
because they made it again publicly known that they were not going to support him financially after they had, like Ralph said, come in on every damn live talking about, oh, we're going to support you and we're getting this check and blah, 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 yada, yada. So
Yeah.
I honestly thought after that, I kind of thought like they little, you know what I'm saying, little relationship was going to be done with, because she kind of really made you look a kind of way, you know what I'm saying, in front of everybody. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you know how these people do. You know how these people do on this internet. One minute they hate each other, then the next minute, you know what I'm saying, they best friends and going
Best
on
friend.
cruise. They going on cruises and shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, that's so they made it back together, and then somehow I don't know where the whole thing came up about him going to her house and whatever happened. I don't know if that he went to her house another time, but I know that this was the only time that I saw that he went to her house, when she was on live. She did a live, he was there, and you know what I mean? Like, they were just really like having like conversation back and forth. It wasn't nothing serious and nothing like that. But I mean, when the cameras go off, nobody don't know, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
what
We don't
happened.
know.
So that's the only time that I know of that he went to her house. Now, all of this they talking about now, I guess that, you know what I'm saying, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying, when the cameras went off or whatever. But I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's how they fell out, the first time. And when last night, when I saw when he was popping off on her last night,
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like it's like I kind of felt him, but at the same time, it was like, I get what you're saying about, like, who are you to tell somebody, you know what I'm saying, not to tell their story or whatever. But the
Right. And I
thing
get it. Don't
was,
feed that energy. Like they're trying to
right,
bait you. Like I
right.
got what he was saying, but he also does that to Maggie a lot. And it's all like, do you not realize her whole channel is based off of drama? She has to talk about it.
And I think that he does that because I think, Ralph has this I think he got like this controlling, you know what I'm saying, aspect to
Hmm.
him, you know what I mean, especially when it comes to women, you
Yeah,
know?
and women don't like that, you
And
know?
women don't like that, especially black women, you know what I'm saying, when you're known to hop around with the snow bunnies. You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
and that's why he don't like the black girls because they gonna say, ding, ding,
Exactly.
ding, ding. God
Exactly.
damn it, you a genius.
Because he don't do that when it comes to somebody that's non, you understand what I'm saying, that's
Yeah,
not that's not black.
non-melanated.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
don't do that. Only when it comes to, melanated women, he wants to come in and tell you what to do and control everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
cause see, because like I said, he liked the snow bunnies, and the snow bunnies are known for being submissive and allowing men to just say, say whatever they want to say or whatever the
Right.
case
He's
may
used
be.
to just shut up and listen.
Exactly. Just shut up and listen.
And these
But
women are very combative. And I wouldn't even say combative. Like they're just speak because you're going on. It's not like these women are going to your platform and trying to, control
right,
you. You're going to their
you're
platform and
going
trying to
to
control
their
them.
platform. You're going to their platform trying to control them. You understand? And so what he's doing now is he's trying to he's trying to redo his image. He's trying to
Mm-hmm.
redo his image in the black in the black sector because he's already been known for liking white women. He said that out of his mouth.
Right.
He said that out of his own mouth. So
And so
now
let me
that
pretend to like Madgie so I can read,
right, he's pretending to have something for Maggie when he knows he's not attracted to Maggie. And also when he jumped up there on I wasn't gonna call her by a name, but I ain't gonna do that. When he jumped up there on Sammy's panel, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he was pretending to flirt with Sammy. Now I
Yeah,
know he
yeah,
ain't like no goddamn Sammy.
and coming up there, acting as if he was defending her, you know what I'm saying, and this and that or whatever. It's because you trying to redo your image amongst all these black women. You understand what I'm saying? But
Right.
his true colors keep on showing because, like I said, when he gets up there, he's trying to control everything that they do and what they say. Now, I understand what he was saying, just like you said, like you're letting people trigger you. You understand? But see, if you didn't have that pattern, Ralph, of trying to control people, then maybe people would have just let it go. You know what I mean? And they would have saw your side like Golden. Don't let this dude come and trigger you and you acting a fool because now you're making people think that it's more than what it was, or you're making people think that they would that you know what I'm saying, that okay, we're holding back and it's something that happened that everybody don't know about. You understand what I'm saying? I get it. And it's
That's so
like, but
true.
at the same time, you can't be telling people what to do all the damn time. And hey, y'all adults, and whatever happened. So you got to take that into consideration too, because you had no business going over to the girl house, and whatever
Hmm.
happened, you understand what I'm saying, because you knew it was a chance that it was going to get back to the internet.
Right. And I feel like he probably thought, oh, let me kind of manipulate this girl a little bit and see if I
Right,
can get
because
something
we
out
can
of
all see that Golden is it, I can't even say she not the brightest crayon in the box. She ain't even in the box. You understand what I'm saying? She ain't even in the box. Like her, Sammy, and it was another person I said, like, I think all these people rode the same little bus to school. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's
But
like
Empress, they didn't ride the bus. They was chasing behind it
they
because
was
it was so late.
yeah. They was chasing behind the bus. You
Mhm.
ever see Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Remember remember in the beginning of the movie when dude took the little toy and he threw it out the back of the window and had it
Yeah.
chasing the school bus? Yeah, that's them chicks. That's them chicks.
Yo.
They don't, because they just don't get it, and I
Hmm.
hate to say, like, I don't think it's that they don't get it. I just think that something mentally with them just does not connect. You understand? Because when you hear people talk and you see their actions and you see their reactions to things, you can tell that it's something mentally up there that just don't connect with them.
Right. I think it's that. But like in Maggie's case, I think because it's a cultural difference. Well, it's a cultural difference all over. Like, I don't think there's too many black people in the province that she lives in Canada. And secondly, black American culture is different. So I don't think she's ever dealt with somebody like Ralph before. So she's not understanding the game.
Let me break that down to you right quick about Maggie and her culture. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
A lot of black people that are from other parts of the states, if you're not from Florida, specifically South Florida, or if you're not from New York, other black people from other parts of the states, they are not acquainted, they have not been acquainted, and they are not aware of um other black people from the quote unquote diaspora. You understand what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
Caribbean people, and how Caribbean people view us and what they think about us. You understand? See, that's
Mm-hmm.
why you have a lot of these Latinos and people who enter into the black tea sector, and they freely use the N word, and they're able to give you a story as if, well, this is what I grew up with, and this is, and this is a part of my culture too, because this is, I grew up around black people. But see, black American people, a lot of black American people are not aware of the politics that goes on in the Latin Caribbean. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? They don't know about the Caribbean in general and the way that those black people view us. Madgie is a Haitian. Haitians are one of the most uh, there were some of the most diabolical people in the Caribbean that I have ever seen, especially when it comes to how they feel about black Americans. They
Mm.
literally hate black Americans. They despise black Americans. And see, when they come to America, they're able to mask it because, as I said, a lot of black Americans are not educated on other parts of the world that are melanated, and how they only know about other people, you know what I'm saying, and white people, oh, these people are racist against us, but they don't know our own people can be some of the biggest racists against us.
Right.
Haitian
Right.
people are very vindictive. Haitian people are very treacherous. And when it comes to their education on America and black Americans, they refuse to learn because they don't want to, because they despise us that much.
Right. Right.
Madgie and Haitians have a tendency. Haitians will side with a white person any day before they side with a black American over anything. And then
Right.
by
Because
her
like I
being,
was saying, like Madgie was very anti-black. And I still think she is. I think that
she
she's trying to
is.
cover it up.
She's doing the same thing Ralph is doing. She's
Ooh.
trying to cover it up and trying to manipulate the black tea sector so she can have more of an ease. You understand what I'm saying? And she can get, because now you see everything, everybody's a racist now. Everybody's a racist now. Let her tell
Right.
it.
But before she was giving them all the courtesy in the world. She was like, it's
Exactly.
not about race. Remember?
Yes. But
And now all of a
before,
sudden she's like, I'm a phenomenal black
thank
woman.
you. Thank
Like
you.
where did this come from?
Now everybody is a racist, but all those people that you are calling racist, they were in your chats, they were your supporters before. But now all of a sudden they're all racist. Yeah, they racist. And I said, yeah, they are all racist. They're covert racist. Yes, they are. All of these YT people, all of these little Europeans that's all in our chats, they're all covert racist. And I don't give a damn what none of them say.
And notice you use covert.
Yes,
Covert.
covert
Yes.
racist.
You were being clear.
Every
Covert.
last one of them. Even the ones that seem as though they're defending, some of the black people in the black tea sector. I said they're all covert racists,
Mm.
especially all these Europeans, because most of them Europeans. Most of them from the UK. One of them sound like she from Ireland. All of them. That's what I said. And I don't understand when it comes to us. Why do it's a must that we have to give them a seat at our table?
Mm.
Because you ain't gonna go over there in none of their sectors and be welcomed with open arms.
And it's the just like you said, having a seat, but I feel like almost they're running it.
Yeah, Listen, AT2.
Like not
I'm
just the
looking.
tweets, they're running it. That's
I'm in these chats. I'm in these people's chats, and I see them. They run their mouth more than we do. They running their mouth about our business more than we do. And then the thing is that we will go against each other. We'll go against each other and kick this person and kick that person out of the sector, but we'll sit up here and fight for them to have a spot in our sector. You understand what I'm saying? Oh,
Ooh,
leave.
that's
Don't
deep.
talk about that person. Oh, they a good person. Oh, don't talk about. How do you know they a good person? You don't know. You don't know them from a damn a hole in the wall. You don't know
Damn,
them
you
from a
right.
hole in the wall, because I can guarantee you when they get off of this internet, they at the table with their family and with their friends, telling everybody how stupid these niggas is.
Because it's something about it, because my main channel is more political, and I kind of mentioned this, like how you see like they get off by seeing like black people fight.
Yes, they
It's
do.
something that I don't like. I get it, but I don't get it how it's so prevalent.
Because you have to understand this. White people, they are clear people. They are obsessed with us. They have always been obsessed with us since the beginning of time. They obsessed with us so much to the point where they hate us. That is
Mm.
why you got people that are located on the other side of the world over here in a little black tea sector and got more to say about everything than the black people got to say about it. And then
Mm.
it's not even that they just in the bushes, right? They're not just
Mhm.
sitting back in the bushes or what. They're actively in the chats running their mouths. I
Mm.
could understand if you was in the bushes. You understand what I'm saying? And you want to be in black people business. I understand. But as I
But you
said, they
actively
get in the
participate.
chat and actively participating. It's like, and as I said before, black people will sit there and defend all of these people that are in our spaces. Why are you in our space?
Mm.
And then I've heard other CCs say, well, we welcome white people into. Why do we have to welcome them in our spaces? Why? You
Mm.
see,
So
this
you
is
think
this
that
is
we shouldn't welcome them at
no,
all?
they shouldn't be, because it's the black tea sector. So why are you here? You have a million
Damn,
other
like that.
places where you can go. Why are you here? And see, this is the problem. This is why we can't never get nowhere as people. We can't never get no damn where amongst each other. But then you got these infiltrators that come in and they demand a seat at our table. Not we just put
Mm.
it, they
And we
demand
can't
it.
go over there and
You
do the
understand
same
what I'm
thing.
saying? You
No,
can't
I,
go
I,
over
I
in their
definitely get what you're
sectors.
saying.
You can't go over in their sectors and actively be in their chats and they actively know that you're a melanated person. Try it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Try it and see what happens. But we always have to be the bigger person. We always have to be the ones to
Right.
turn our cheeks. We always have to. You understand what I'm saying? And it's to the point where you would think in 2026, you would think that, damn, don't these niggas even get it at this point? Do you not get it? Don't you
I
get
I I
when
don't
have
think they I don't think they'll ever get it. I think, as long as they have attention and they have people watching them, I don't think they care.
and you know what, AT2, you hit the nail on. They don't care. They do not care. We as
Mhm.
people have grown to not care. As long as they in our chats and they're supporting us, they giving us clicks and views, they giving us cash apps, they giving us super chats, then they start talking about, I treat people how they treat me, and they never did nothing to me. So I say, you know what?
Oh
I
yeah,
tell
there
you,
there's a lot of it. Oh well, they didn't call me one.
yeah.
Yeah, I
They
even
didn't
heard
say
Sammy.
nothing
She was
against
like, "Well,
me.
y'all called me a monkey. I don't care if Jelly called me a monkey.
Right. How stupid do you
It's
sound?
not the same,
How
right?"
stupid do you sound saying that? You understand? That's just like when they say that, oh, we should be able to use the N word because they use it. What we say to each other have to do with you?
Right. And like here's the thing. Like I don't think that for me personally, I'm just speaking for me. It's not that I have a problem with them being here. There needs to be checks and balances, and when we call something out, there shouldn't be this pushback like, oh well, that's not how it, but no, I'm trying to tell you that
Right,
this is problematic.
right,
That's what I more or less have a problem with.
right.
AT2 mine. Hello, AT.
I
Oh, this lady tweet. Oh,
didn't even say nothing. How do you know my voice? See, that's how you know we married. Let me find out.
And then,
No,
and
I'm
you
just
know
kidding.
what, AT2, I even heard somebody say that that people can be allies. And I'm like, when the hell have they ever been allies to us?
Okay, I came in because I
mm.
had questions. So I know y'all been around for a long time. And so this is something I really did want to know. This whole thing with the black tea sector, because I kind of found it by default. So this thing where people are like, this one can be in, that one can't, all that kind of stuff. Like, is there some sort of induction or ceremony, welcome ceremony? Like, or do people just see other content creators? And if you just somehow come into pass with someone that's actually quote unquote in the sector, then if you're liked, you're like welcomed in. Like, how do you say who is allowed and permitted? Like, how does that even go about AT2? I wanted to start there.
There has never been a rule book or anything on it's never made sense.
Okay.
Right, Empress? It's never made sense.
I mean, the the question itself, I mean, it's like,
I was being
you
rhetorical, but
you've
being
been,
literal.
Lady T,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, you kind of been around for a little minute. You understand what I'm
Yeah, but
saying?
I just learned of the
So
black tea sector in February of this year.
let me explain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Hmm.
You kind of, I mean, you can kind of get the gist of the way that it works. There's no, oh, hierarchy of, well, you can be in the black tea sector and you can't. It's simply, people who set themselves at a certain position, and then they basically say, okay,
Mm.
you in and you out. I mean, you can't see that. You can see that at this
No,
point.
I understand that. I know what they're saying. I was just meaning as an overall because people still can come and strike up their channels and do what they want. So it was a figurative question, but also was like, was it a thing? Like if you're not welcomed in, like if literally everybody in the sector doesn't like you, are you booted out? I said that to say because when you had made the comment, it was like I kind of had agreed with what you said, but then in a different aspect, when people were trying to say, "Oh, AT2 shouldn't be in the black tea sector," he talks about politics, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Are we saying that black people are only capable of just being ghetto and talking trash on like? Why would we not have diversity? So I'm kind of piggybacking off that. No, I don't want to say.
Wait. Uh, we wasn't talking about diversity. We was
No,
we
no, no,
were
no,
saying,
no.
No, not
I was getting
diversity,
to a
less
point.
than that.
Yeah. So the same way that point would reference him, like we should just say just because a lot of our people don't necessarily talk politics and he's black and he's doing politics, yes, he's dipping into other spaces that would be more of a different, background and things of that, less of us, so to speak, but he's still doing what he wants to do. So I say that to say how is it if we are also the black tea sector, we want to just be limited with just our culture because that means we don't grow. So therefore, but I also do still feel that same sentiment you did, not about the person, because I don't have a problem with that specific person that they put on the list, but it was just the action behind it. It is disgusting and it's very shameful to be black. And because you don't like a person or because now you're into with them or because this did happen, oh, we're going to kick a black person out. We're going to put a white person in their place. That I don't respect. So in that regard, I
okay,
was saying I
so
agree with you on that.
okay, so
Yeah.
let me say this.
Yeah.
When you talk about what AT2, okay, what AT2 is talking about, and we shouldn't limit ourselves. That's not what that's not what our conversation, that's not what it was about. And I understand that, okay, what I understand the point that you're making.
Mhm.
AT2 talks about politics or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying, the case may be. That he talks about black people in politics. He talks about white people in politics. He talks about it in general. Now, whether or not people agree with that or he shouldn't be in the black, I ain't never really heard nobody really say that. But I mean, I'm pretty
AT2 know
Oh,
where it
sure.
came
there's
from.
yeah,
I'm
He know
really
he.
pretty
he's
I'm
sure.
saying
sorry,
the name,
Empress.
but
I wasn't saying
yeah.
y'all's conversation was that. I was saying that because there's a lot of people who think pro-black. They think limitedly in the mind. So that's what I was
Okay,
trying to say.
let me finish what I'm saying. So when you talk about limited in the
Mm-hmm.
mind and you talk about us not knowing about other people's culture,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a cultural learning sector. This is not a sector where people discuss cultures and discuss these kinds of things. This is not the sector for that. And none of these
I wasn't
people,
saying that either.
and also when you want to talk about us learning about other people's culture,
That's not what I said.
Jesus, we need to, first of all, we need to focus on our own selves because we don't even know our own cultures. That we don't even know ourselves. You see, that's one of the problems with us. We focus on everybody else and we don't even know ourselves.
Right.
See,
So what I'm saying
What
we need to learn, we need to start learning ourselves and who we are before we can continue to try to learn and integrate other people's cultures into ours
Right,
because
but what
we
I'm
don't
saying to
even
you
know
is I'm
who
sure
we are.
you also support Martin Luther King, and he didn't say, "Hey, be segregated." He literally lost his
I didn't.
life
I know, and
on
no, I
fighting.
don't support, and no, I don't support. I did never. I don't support Martin Luther King now because now I know who Martin Luther King really was.
Hmm. Well, this is not a Black History sector. For whatever reason, it's called a Black Tea sector, and I don't even know where the derivative come from. If it just means, and this is why I was asking my original question: is the question mean if
You
it's
know
the
what,
Black?
AT2, listen. Thank you know what I'm saying. Thank you, bro, for letting me come up here. You know what I'm saying. And I'm gonna holler back at you later. You understand what I'm saying? Because
okay,
see,
okay.
I'm this type of energy right here. I don't deal with. You
Wait,
understand
hold
what
on,
I'm
hold
There's
on.
not.
saying?
There's
Because
no negative energy. I'm asking
I don't
question to get
AT2
understanding.
AT2.
hold on. Let me say something real quick. So I think what it is that Lady T question, it was kind of loaded because it's like questions within like a main question.
Right.
And I think what she's saying is it's not cultural as far as like different ethnicities and stuff like that. What Lady T is talking about is basically like, say for example, me, I have a main channel where I talk about politics and stuff like that. And then there's people who say, oh, well, you shouldn't even be over here. You don't belong. And it's all like, wait, I don't belong over here. Like, what do you mean? Because I talk about something else. Like, don't other people have other things that they talk about in
Hmm.
this
I
sector?
Yeah.
get what the
That's
question.
what she was talking about. So I think it got confused.
But I'm also trying to ask y'all, Empress, what is the Black Tea sector?
AT2. But the
Because I don't
question
know.
took the conversation left. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not understand. I don't get the question. I don't.
I guess
I'm
I'm trying
telling
to
you. I
find out if
understand what the
somebody,
question is.
right?
What
So,
I'm saying is that the
hmm,
question took the whole conversation a different way because we were specifically talking about one thing. And then you come with something that's taking it a whole different way. AT2 is a melanated man. So
right,
whether
Mm.
or if we having disagreements within our circle about whether or not, okay, he shouldn't be doing, okay, that's a conversation within us. I'm talking about other people who do not have anything to do with us, it coming in and invading our spaces and giving their opinions on what the hell they think because it's
right.
not needed.
And
That
that's
is
why I
what
came up
I'm
because you
saying.
responded to my comment in the chat when I was speaking about that. I was just saying my personal experience with that person. I didn't see them as that. And you're entitled to your opinion. I also respected your opinion because I said that in the chat
What
too.
specific person is you talking about?
Whoever you're saying this overseas, this Ireland, if you're not talking about anybody in particular, neither am I. I also said that whatever your
Girl,
opinion is, you're
listen,
entitled to that.
AT2,
Hmm.
AT2. Thank
So
you for
there's no
for
reason to
bringing
be
me up.
hostile
I'm
because
gonna
I'm not
holler
being
back at you. All
hostile.
right.
She's being hostile for no reason, and I'm not being that.
I'm gonna holler back at you,
Okay,
AT2.
thank you, Empress. Thank you,
So,
Empress.
anyway, AT2, what I was trying to ask is what exactly is the black tea sector? And the fact that you've been here, you're like you said, the Godfather. And for people that don't know, like, I don't know if that means you have
Mhm.
to be a black content creator to get in. This is why I was trying to ask that and why I started with my comment, you, but I couldn't. And this is why I'm saying you can't even have a clear conversation. People can have their beliefs, but you don't have to get, you know what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's about getting understanding. You can't get understanding or resolution
Right. We
only
can still
feeling
have a
one sided.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as the black tea sector, the way that it started out was that we would like literally over COVID. It actually was before COVID, but heavily in COVID, there was just a whole bunch of black content creators talking about what was going on YouTube and other content creators, and that kind of spawned off the sector.
Hmm.
That was basically it. Now,
Hmm.
whether or not there's like a hierarchy or people that can let people in, basically it just depends on who you talk to. It
Hmm.
depends on who feels that, oh, I have, just like, I'll give you a perfect example. That list, that whole list was bullshit. That whole list was created to be divisive because they wanted to be able to tell you, like, oh, these content creators are this and that. And most of the people that they had more favorable have barely been here, but
Hmm.
somehow they were above people who have been here a long time putting in the actual work. And,
Right.
and it was created that way to be divisive. But those people will tell you, oh, we run the sector. And it's all like, who gave you the keys and told you to run the sector? But you'll talk to someone else, and you kind of see with everybody's different lists, they
Hmm.
all think differently. But there's some people who think that they are the head honchos and they run everything, but technically no one runs the sector. Everybody is independent.
But my thing is that some of these people that are not of melanated color like us, from my understanding, they have been around for a while. So it's like, why wouldn't this be brought up a long time ago? Like, hey, why are these people here? Where did you know what I mean? So basically, they never got their foot in the door. But since they've been here for so long, and now they are being added to lists and stuff like that, because there's only one person that has an Ireland accent that was added to the list that is not melanated. So it's like when she was like, "Who are you talking about?" It's like, I'm not going to say names, play the semantics. Yeah, I was taken up for that person in the chat. I was just saying, hey, I don't see her as that way, but you're feel free to feel how you want. Like I was not being disrespectful. Feel how you want to feel. I'm just saying it keeps us in a box. So my comment about you is it's the reverse of what she's saying, but it's almost the same thing. So our
Right.
people live that, like a lot of people, we have a mindset where we're just in this box where, oh, black people should only be able to cover this, and then you have another people on her side, oh, black people, if we got a space, it should only be about us. It's like it's 2026. I get where she's coming from, but it's like for us to grow, yes, it's nice to have support from overseas. Like when you look at your demographics and stuff on your studio, you don't want to just say, hey, hood, 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 black, black, black. You're not gonna grow. Like you want support, you want
Right.
subscribers, you want all this kind of stuff from all over. So yes, maybe being overly inserted, I get where she's coming from, but just to simply say we don't need these people in our space, yeah, that's not cool because diversity is how you grow and expand. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Well,
this is not Black history culture.
I said that, I don't agree with like nobody, but I said
Yeah.
like there should be limitations. And I think it does get into the point, like what Empress was saying, is that it's not just, oh, these people are just coming and visiting, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we're trying to come in and wreck shop and like control everything. And that's a no. And I
Yeah.
think it started because also we have to remember that
Hmm.
Madgie, Lady Letitia, and them, they came from Sean Atwood. And so the Sean Atwood guy that introduced us to a lot of these
Different
um
characters.
yeah, and stuff
Okay.
like that, because They're also they are a part of this other sector, the
Mm-hmm.
anti Meghan Markle, because you know how all those people in the UK
Yes.
like that, they hate Meghan Markle.
Yes.
So that's where they came from. And so then
Mm-hmm.
it interjected these other people. But like Princess was saying, we always had, white people in the sector
And
because
I
like
was getting her point. I got
wait,
people in my family that's strong that listen. My mom said, well, I get where she's, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, far as politically and publicly, it's just hard for us, you know what I'm saying, to be in that kind of
yeah,
space and really just be like that because it just, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that on YouTube. That's all I'm trying to say. And it's like we get to a space where what I don't like is that how we attack each other, but then promote, as she was saying, non-melanated people to take digs at us because you don't like someone that's your same skin color, but you're giving
right.
notoriety.
And it's
And that, so that's why I was saying I agree with some of the stuff she was saying. I just couldn't get a word out. So
yeah, it's a layered conversation. It's not just
yeah.
a black and white. Okay, here's Empress again. And thank you, Hera, for the super chat. She said, afternoon AT2 in chat. The caller has a legit question. I do not know what the black tea sector is. Thank you, Hera.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't trying to be
Empress, Hera.
disrespectful, Empress. So I apologize if you
So
felt that
so
way.
let me so let me ask you a question. So
Yes, ma'am.
why do you feel that we need them over here? Why do you feel
Now,
that
I
we
won't
need
say
them?
we need, because I will say I'm with you when it comes to when you were making the point, like it's a shame we can't just have our own thing. Because when you made the very valid point, we can't just travel over to their
Gatekeep.
place and take over. That ain't gonna ever happen. So
Mhm.
that part I definitely know what you're talking about. So I'm just saying boycotting them out. It's just like, because some of them are nice people. I don't know. I don't know.
See,
I'm with you.
this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and I'm not trying to,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful either. I'm just a person. I say things straightforward and I say how it
Mm-hmm.
is. See, this is what I'm saying. This is the type of mentality that we take to one step forward and 20 steps back. That
Mm-hmm.
type of thinking, about
Mhm.
that. Why can't we just welcome everybody into the fold? You know what I mean? Why do we have to boycott them, and why do we have to do this and that? Because you know why? Because the history speaks, and to the present speaks, that's why we should. Because guess what? Because before segregation, before they came along, we had it very, very good in this country. We had Black Wall Street. We had our own cities. We had our own neighborhoods. Black people were a mecca in this country. So moving fast forward
But
to
also that was burned down too. Let's not forget that.
exactly, exactly. So when you say about, you know, oh, we shouldn't boycott them, and we shouldn't do this, or we shouldn't do that. That's what they've been doing to us, and they
You know
still
what my
do
problem
it.
is, Miss Empress, is because
and they
I'm
still
like
and
down
they
the middle.
still and they still do it, and they
Mm-hmm.
still do it to this day. Right now in Jamaica, you have people who are non-melanated that are building all kinds of resorts, that are building all kinds of luxury places in the island of Jamaica, and telling
Yep.
the people of
And
Jamaica,
the people can't go on the beaches.
you can't even go in your own beach, your
Mhm.
own land. That's yours. You can't bring your black asses to our hotels. You see
Well,
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? You got
But
right
Empress,
here.
like I get what you're saying, right? And I totally agree with it. But you have to remember, you're dealing with people in the black tea sector. These niggas don't want better.
And AT2, didn't I say that?
Yeah, no, and
Didn't
I
I
get it.
say
Yeah,
that?
but they don't want better. They
And
don't give
and
a
and I
damn.
and I under and I
And
understand
because
that.
you speaking some real shit, but
well, tell
nigga,
me
they don't
this,
give
Miss
a fuck
Empress.
about that.
Let me
Let me
ask her
put it
something,
like that.
AT2.
You
So I
understand what I'm saying? Like this mentality about,
Yeah.
where they nice, so let them in, and we can use support from international people and all this type of. That's the same type of mentality that got us in the position where we were. Because remember, as I said before, we had our own, we ran our own, and we didn't need their help, and we
Right.
didn't need their help.
Okay, go Lady T. Your turn.
So I know for me, it's a little bit more complex. Which I mean, all of us have whatever down the line, and it's like even whatever clear, what do you want to call it, white tea I got in my blood. I don't know, not near one of the relatives. However, I'm like down the middle because on one side of my family, like my mother's side, they all with the mentality she got. This is why I grew up, speaking how I speak and say the things I say. This thing got me trouble in this act. Then I got another side on my grandfather's side. We literally have, people, whether they're married to, Caucasian stuff like that, where they have procreated. So now I'm related to people, this, of that. And so when I try to come on that side with that same type of tongue, because I have a slick mouth, they'd be like, hey, we don't talk like that around here. We accept everybody. So it's like literally I'm in the middle of one side of my family, pro-black, Black Panther, and the other side, hey, we support everybody. So that's why I'm saying like I've just been raised in the middle, if that makes sense. So,
Right. But, even with that being said, being coming from two different worlds, basically, both
hmm
worlds colliding. Like, even when I was, what I was saying with Empress, like, the
hmm
whole thing is like, y'all are having legit conversations. Like, I love this conversation right now
yeah.
because this is
And
the
I'm
kind
glad
of
she came back
community
up.
building that I want to build.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that we, talking about you and Empress, we can create something. But as far as the black tea sector, them niggas don't want to have like this kind of conversation right now. They would have told Empress to go suck a dick and get the fuck out of here. That's how rude these people are. Empress, am I lying about that?
And I don't
These
advise
people are rude
nobody
as
to
fuck.
tell me to do that, because as much as I'm a well-spoken person, I
She gonna
get
give it to him.
stupid. I get real
Yeah.
stupid as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and in
As you
real life.
should.
So yeah, I get
Yeah.
you right.
And
You
Empress
exactly
knew she
right.
could have this conversation with me. Like she
Right,
Yeah.
knew she
right.
could have. I ain't gonna say no other names, but Empress, you knew you couldn't have this conversation with other people,
No,
right?
you
Yeah.
absolutely right. You absolutely right. That's why as long as I've been in the black tea sector, I ain't never hit nobody panels, and I never,
Uh-huh.
you understand what I'm saying? Never. I know
Right.
I can hit your panel because I know you got sense. You
hmm
understand what I'm saying?
And he
Mm-hmm.
And you
does.
got a functioning brain. So I that's why I hit your panel, because I've been in this sector before it even, you know what I'm saying, when it first started. I used to just be in the bushes, and I never used to be in the chats. I never used to say anything. But I've been here since it started, and you exactly right. This is
hmm
this is just a bunch of niggas. And that's
Yeah.
point blank. They just a bunch of niggas that do nigga shit and with nigga mentality.
Yeah, it's just playing out on the internet. That's the difference.
Yeah,
It's
that's
playing out
all
on
hmm
it
the
is,
internet.
and I understand that, But as I said, you got the kind of platform to where, okay, I can get up here and I can say something
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
You
not
know what
gonna
I
say
mean?
that I don't hear you as a sister, because everything you said I felt to my core. Because trust me, I feel the same way. I just try. I basically only put those shoes onto those that I don't really wear them hats. You feel what I'm saying? That's when I really go tooth and nail. Like, how we had to get the other girl together that was literally loud and proud with her disgusting verbiage of us as a culture. And I'm going to speak when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't place that on everybody simply because then that makes us them. That makes us have the same mindset of the people that put us in that category as being, you know what, if that makes sense.
Right.
But it
But
is important for us to have our own space too, to build our own community so we can build each other up and stop tearing each other the fuck down. That is important too. So I'm with Empress on that as well.
And
yeah,
but
and
but
where
we
I
but see
also
but see we can't build each other up,
hmm
and but because first of all, we got too many invaders. That's number one. Like I said
Yes.
before, we got too many
Mhm.
invaders, and then at the same time, like AT2 said, you got too many people in this sector who is just on nigga shit, and
Yeah.
nobody don't want to learn anything. Nobody wants to move past what it is that they know. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody's
hmm
acceptive of anything. Everybody just wants to
Right.
stay in their same ignorant mentality, and
hmm
and and that's it. And
That is
that's
Right.
true.
it.
And then when you have like a whole, because this is what it is too, because you have a whole bunch of black people fighting, doing nigga shit online, acting a goddamn plumb fool, right?
hmm
And then we'll turn around and be like, oh, you can't say this or that. And it's all like, well, shit, y'all here with the fuckery and foolery. Like, they're not learning like they're not learning anything from our culture. Like all they see is literally what they've been told on TV and shit like that. We a
Exactly.
whole bunch
Hmm.
of monkeys and everything else.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
don't see us.
And that is why they're here. That is why they're
Yes.
here. They're
I
here to watch, to see and act as a bunch of niggas and monkeys. That is why they are here in our sector. And we give them everything that they want every time. Every time we do it. That's why they're here. You don't see them over in all of the conscious black sectors, or the sectors that talk about things that matter. They always in the bushes. Trust me, they
Hmm.
always in the bushes because they watch everything that we do. But you don't see them actively in the chats and running their mouths. Because
And
see, they know that that's uncharted territory. You can't fuck with black people that's on that kind of level. You understand what I'm
right.
saying? So when they come over here to the nigga shit, and they you understand what I'm saying? That's when they get
yeah,
all
they know they can fuck with
exactly.
us.
They
Yeah.
And
know
so
they can
I
fuck
was,
with
but
us like that.
and what I was saying to piggyback off that, the reason why I said it's also a disservice to where it is at this current moment, because it's the same people, far as viewers, is being recycled. The sector is not growing. You'll get the same 2,000, 1 point whatever,
Mhm.
because everybody's just watching the same thing. It's the same, so we're not growing. So this is where I was saying, far as yes, it is important to be able to have viewers from other places. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to necessarily be as boisterous into our personal Black matters. That part I definitely understand. But having the diversity far as viewership is important because we are at a standstill.
Right. But I want to make a point too, because we keep talking about the other people watching us and stuff like that. But I don't think y'all realize, because this first started out with me reading a comment from somebody who is from my main page, and they were talking about the stuff that I talk about back here.
Hmm.
And the thing, what? Oh, well, let me read the comment because I know some of y'all were late. She said, "I really love your videos and commentary on your main channel, but I have a hard time listening to all the cussing on this channel. No shade, just honesty." And I thanked her, and I said she's 1,000% correct. And the thing is, we thinking about the white people and all this, but we don't think about the black people who are turned off by this. Like, ugh, like what the fuck is going on? Like, we're not even thinking, like, we're
Right.
also turning away black people. That's another reason why it
Yeah,
doesn't grow.
because we're all not from the projects and from the ghetto and want to hear a bunch
Right.
of ignorance all day long. Yeah, I
Hmm.
I understand it. I absolutely agree.
Right. At
So
least
it's
baddies is making money. They getting paid for their
that part.
ignorance. We over here doing it for free 99.
Right.
Or shit,
Exactly.
some of them do it for free. Some of them not even monetized.
And
But
being the entertainment for people that want to see us act a fool.
so are
Mm-hmm.
you not allowed to have two different entities though, like far as what you have in two separate channels? You know what I mean? Your clean channel, and then the messy. If you want to just kick back and be, I guess you can say, a ninja for today. Like, is there like a balance to where you don't feel you're going too far, but you're still, being true to yourself?
Um, you're always, everybody has like multiple different channels, but also too, we have to speak to this. The people in the black tea sector don't want better.
They
Yeah.
don't.
We
They
have to be
don't.
honest. They don't want better. Me, I've always seen this as like a career, because once I got laid off for the second time during the pandemic, I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign from God that okay, I need to go ahead and get on my shit and do this full force. There's a lot of other people who may be escaping from a reality that they hate, or maybe just don't know any better, like,
Right.
which is
Hmm.
hard to believe, but they don't know any better. And so this is like their outlet. And then this is what they do. This is why you see the people online for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, and they're not talking about anything but bullshit. You just see them hollering and yelling. Like, you don't get anything out of that. Like, yeah, it's enjoyment, but okay, what happens at the end of the night when you turn that computer off? What did you
and
get?
and
Exactly.
and it's also AT2, a lot of people who are very unknowledgeable and very uneducated, and they allow like, okay, this was like a year, maybe like a year or two ago. I was
Mm-hmm.
listening to somebody in the black tea sector, and they had a non-white person up on there, a non-white Europe, I mean, not non-white, a white European up on their panel,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about origins, black people, black history, whatever, right? And they were allowing this European to tell them who they are. And
Oh
I'm saying to
my.
myself, I'm like, you know, and
Oh my God.
this is the lazy, this is the laziness, this is the laziness and the ignorance and the laziness with us. We want
Hmm.
to stay comfortable in what it is that we know and what we've been taught for so many years. You understand that when
Mhm.
somebody comes with something that is unfamiliar, we shun it and we push it away.
Hmm.
But I was like stunned when I saw, when I'm like, you're allowing this person to tell you who you are and where you from instead of you going out and reading a book or doing your own research on who you are. You're sitting here allowing a person to tell you, a non-black person to tell you who you are and where you from.
Right. You're allowing somebody to be able to dictate your history. And it's all like,
Exactly,
wait
to
a minute.
dictate
Like,
your history. You understand? Because see, we still right now in 2026 believing that all black people were slaves and that we came over here on a boat from Africa. You understand what I'm saying? We still in
mhm.
2026 believing that bullshit. We
And
still in
AT2.
2026 believing that same bullshit. When you as a person can go and do your genealogy, not take a DNA test because the DNA test ain't nothing but bullshit. But you can go and do your genealogy. And you know what genealogy is? Genealogy is looking up your family records. Your
Mhm.
family records to know who you are and where you are from. And in this day of information, in this time of information, and in this time of technology and the information that we have, you still got these Negroes running around out here talking about we from Africa and letting a white
Yeah.
European sit and tell you who you are.
I remember we had this conversation because you don't think that any of us came from Africa.
None of us came. No, we did not. Because let me tell you why. We are indeed. Let me tell you, I heard an African told me this. An
Mhm.
African told me this. An African said to me, he said, you are not an African, sister. He told me this in my face and called me a sister at the same time. He told me this. He said, you are not an African, sister. He said,
I've
you
heard that
are
many times
an
too.
indigenous person to North America, just like I am an indigenous person to Africa. You are not an African. An
Yeah.
African person told me this. But
Yes.
he
I've
wasn't
had
telling me
African descent.
anything that I didn't know because you have to understand this. This whole
Mhm.
theory about we all came from one place is a fucking lie. When
Wait.
we
So
all
you don't
got put
believe that the Eve gene was in Africa?
AT2, do you know that Black American people and Caribbean people as well, do you know that we don't even have the same phenotype as African people? Do you know that we're not the same phenotype? And that's scientifically proven. I want you to look it up.
That's
We
like
are
the
not.
Negroid and the Caucasoid and
Yes,
all
we
that.
are not even the same phenotype. So if we not the same phenotype, how could we have come from if we not the same phenotype? How can we be the same people if we're not the same phenotype?
I'll look that up.
Hmm.
I
I'm gonna
yeah,
do the
I have to
same
look.
definitely after this.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
not
I've
gonna
the
look
had
that
several
same.
up.
We're
Africans say the
not
same thing
even
she's
the
saying
same
though.
phenotype as they are. No, we're not.
Mhm.
And just like I said, if you do your genealogy, I want you to look that up too. Write that word down. Genealogy. Look up your family history, your family records, and see where you are from.
So if you say we're not African or your belief, where do you feel we are derivative from? I'm
What
just
you mean
curious.
where we derivative from? Right here on this land where we are.
See, that's where I disagree
Uh,
we because life started in Africa. That's
No, it did not.
we
No, it
can't
did
just
not.
grow
Empress.
from
That is a
blacks didn't
fact.
just come
What are
from
you
anywhere. We
talking
can't
about?
just
Listen,
become
listen,
Oh,
black in
here
America,
she
Miss
goes.
Empress. No.
listen. That's the story
Empress.
that,
Life started
listen,
in Africa.
Oh my
AT2,
God.
Like it
AT2,
literally started in Africa.
AT2,
Black people are
AT2,
the only human beings.
AT2.
Okay, I'll
That's the
listen.
that's the that's the story. That's the story that you have been told. So I want to ask you this question. What research have you done that goes outside of the box that everybody came from Africa? Have you ever done any kind of research?
That literally is not disputed. Like that's a fact that life started in
No,
Africa.
no, no. Everything can be disputed. I ask you a question. Answer my question. I say, have you ever done any kind of research on the origins of black melanated people to see that if that is absolutely true that
I feel
civilization
like we
started
playing
in Africa?
semantics with that because yeah, that's how I know that life started in
No,
Africa.
no,
That's
no.
how I
That's
It
know
not.
literally
black
says
people
scientific and
are.
fossil evidence show that modern humans first evolved in Africa roughly 200 to
No, that's
300,000
not.
years
No,
ago.
that's not. Don't know that's not true because the oldest
Oh
fossils were
Lord.
found here in America.
Wait, so you're saying the oldest human? Well, even with that being said, we all know that black people, we went everywhere. We are the first humans. Everyone literally came from us.
So you think white people came from us?
Yes, they came from us.
Okay. Well, we
We
go.
made them human because they was what you call
White
them?
people don't have melanin,
Neanderthals.
AT2. They don't even have melanin.
What they call
What are y'all
Neanderthals?
doing?
Yeah,
We
they
don't
like
went left today on this.
whatever they were called. Yeah, the Neanderthals or whatever.
Oh man. Y'all don't went left. We was
No,
talking
no,
about
no. We not gonna go left. We gonna keep it
No,
right
no,
here
we just
because
having a conversation.
yeah,
the
we gonna
chat
keep
so
it.
confused. They about as confused as us in
No,
the chat.
we gonna keep it. We gonna keep it right here, and we're
Yes,
gonna end
ma'am.
it. And we're gonna end it right here because this is going to go into something else that we don't need to be because we at
Oh
peace
yeah, we
right
almost
now.
at 2 hours.
Yeah, we at peace. We at peace
I'm
right now,
doing
so we gonna
my
keep it at peace.
tree. I'm doing that tree. What's it called, Empress?
So what I'm gonna say is this. Um, we were in every 4 corners of the world. We were not put in
Mhm.
one place. We were not put in one place and
Mm-hmm.
then spread out
That is true.
all over the world. That is not true. And as I said again, we do not all come from one place, and
Mm.
civilization did not derive from one place. That is absolutely not true. But as I said before, if that is what you believe to be true and you have not done any other research as to what it is that you know now, then that's where you're going to stay, and that's the spot that you're going to stay in. As I said before, people, do your genealogy. Everybody that's listening to me in this chat, do your genealogy. And I did not say anything about a DNA test. Do not go sending these people your DNA,
Oh
okay?
man.
For them
I
to,
was gonna
for
say I
them,
already
That's
did.
what I was gonna do. What?
okay,
No, that's not what she's talking about. Not the
that's
So
not what
don't
I'm
specific
so
talking
don't
DNA.
do
about.
that.
I did
Don't do
that
You
that.
years
go
ago.
and
No, no, no.
you're sending people your DNA. You don't know who in the hell that you're sending your DNA to, and you're sending
Interesting.
your DNA to these people, and then you're coming back with a paper that's telling you that you're West African, that you're 2% European, and that you're 5% Native American, and that is what every person is getting. They're getting the same printout. You're
Mm.
getting the same printout. So do you not know that there was a person who sent the DNA of a frog. He sent DNA of a frog and sent it to one of those DNA companies, and he told them that he was an African American, and he sent DNA of a frog, and they sent it back and told him that he was from West Africa.
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
never heard of that story because here's the thing: when I did the DNA thing, they don't ask for your race.
He said that he was an African American.
I'm doing that ancestry today. Okay.
He
Oh my
sent
god!
in the DNA of a frog,
Oh girl.
And they told him, and they sent him a paperback telling him that he was
Mm.
from West Africa and that he was 2% European
Thank
and
you,
this
Layla
and that and
teacher.
the third. Okay.
Mm.
So, as I said before, stop sending these
Oh.
people your DNA because you don't know who the hell is looking at your DNA. Stop sending these people your DNA for them to send you a printout and tell you where you come from because DNA cannot tell you who you are to a certain point. Now, DNA can
Mm.
tell you, they can tell you your, I would say maybe one generation, 1 or 2 generations. Okay, that's like your immediate mom,
Yeah,
grandmother,
because it has like
uncle,
Mm-hmm.
second
cousin.
and third cousins, so it does,
Exactly.
it does
Exactly.
connect you with family and stuff
Right, it does.
like
I'm
Yeah.
not going to
that.
say that it doesn't, but to a certain point there's a cutoff. They cannot tell you where your origin is from or where your ancestors from. It cannot tell you that because it does not go that far back. It's not able to tell you that. So, do your genealogy. That is you looking up your family records. Go find out who your great grandparents are, their last names, your great great grandparents before that, their last names. Go to wherever it is that you live and go to where they hold the vital records, where they hold vital records,
Mm-hmm.
and do research on your family and find out where your family is from. And I can guarantee you money. If you come back to me and you tell me that any of your family came from Africa, I got a whole
Well,
stack.
Empress, you know this is not an honest
You got
discussion.
how
You know
much?
it cuts off after a certain point
What
because
Yeah.
you
it's
mean?
not
What
like
you
they
mean it
kept
cut off at a
records
certain
of
point?
everybody.
AT2, Lord have mercy.
Oh my God,
You know
Empress,
what?
there you go.
You know what?
There
As
you
smart
go
as
again.
smart as you are, AT2, sometimes you say some things that just throw me.
And Empress, I think you smart too, but I think
I
sometimes,
I
you
went
know,
and I got my family records from the 1700s. What are you talking about? There's a cutoff point. What are you talking about,
you were able to
AT2?
go all the way back, and they told you,
1700s.
yes, but didn't that come to a certain point where, where, okay, so when you went all the way back, that was like your first, like, because we've been here more than since the 1700s. So you're telling me that it could go back even further?
So if we've been here since more than the 1700s, how is it that you think that we came from somewhere else?
Well, I was gonna say when we talked about the slave boats and everything like that, I honestly didn't tell you like my opinion on that because I do
Where and
know
I
that
want to ask you where the
I
slave boats
do
at.
know that we were already here. Like I
So
do
if we
know that.
were already here, then how is it that we
No, no, no.
originated somewhere
I'm not
else?
saying because here's the thing. I'm also not saying that the slave trade didn't happen, but we know that in the United States, it was only 450,000 people that they transported. But we know that a lot of them died and weren't able to make it here. So
AT2,
you're telling me that all those
if
people
they
from Africa came
transported
over?
50,
No, I
if
don't
they
believe that.
transported 400,000 people from Africa in that period in time, there would be nobody in Africa.
That's also true. Like, so here's the thing. Like, you cannot deny that the slave trade actually happened. Like that's factual. But as far as the numbers, as far as
Who
like all these millions and millions, no, I don't
why
believe that.
can't I deny it? Why can't I deny it?
Wait, you're
So
Why
denying
can't I
that
slave
deny
too?
trade
it?
did not happen. Is that what you're saying?
Oh.
I said why can't I deny it? You know there's more than one slave trade. You know that, right?
Oh, Empress.
This is no, you laughing, but
So I have a question. Can you
I
please
just
give us a
asked a question.
recommendation
I
on
said
which
you know that there was more than one slave trade. You're talking about the Atlantic slave trade, but you know there
Hmm.
was more than one slave trade, right?
Yeah, because also too, we have to talk about which we don't talk about is the Middle East, the Arabs. Like they had a
Mhm.
whole like that was prevalent with them too as well.
But when you're talking about America, you're talking about the Atlantic slave
Yeah,
trade.
America. I'm just talking about Atlantic. Yes, yes. West Africa. What? Yeah,
Okay.
West Africa. Yeah,
So, like I said, why can't I deny it?
because like there's proof that it actually happened. Like now, does that mean that I believe everything
And
that
I'm
was
asking
told
you, and
to
I'm
us?
still
No.
asking you a question. I'm saying, and I'm gonna ask you this question again, AT2.
Uh huh.
What research have you done other than what you have been taught in school and what that we have been taught by people that are non-melanated now? Because see, this is the thing. This is the thing I want you to realize. Now, we could say, oh, these white people, they done lied to us about this, they've lied to us about that, and they've lied to us about this and that and the third, and they're a bunch of liars and this and that. But when it comes to who we are and where we from, they telling the truth.
Well, can I ask a
So
question?
they done lied about everything else, but they telling the truth about who we are and where we from.
Have what comparison or whatever it was is it that made you feel like whatever this belief is to be true? Is it just because the singular African told you that we didn't come from there and the frog DNA being
No,
false?
no, you know what made me this is when I started here. I started to hear so many things about us and who we are, is that I took it upon myself
Mm-hmm.
to do research. And then when I started doing research, because see, when they say you seek, you will find. And then when I started doing research, I started coming across other melanated people who were finding a whole bunch of other research that was close to mine. And I'm gonna say this one person, his name is Dane Calloway. Dane Calloway was the first person that I came across that debated the out of Africa theory. And when I started listening to him, and then I started looking at the stuff I had
That's what
found.
his name was.
And then I started finding him. It was Dane Calloway. There's another guy on his name is Top Cats. His name is Legendary Top Cats. He's another one. He's a very educated person as well. Um and I started listening to a lot of the information that they were given. And then that's when I found out about the specific term genealogy and found out what that was. So when I decided to do mine, I said, you know what? Let me look into this and let me see what it's really worth and what it's really about. And if there's any, truth to this. And sure enough, when I did my genealogy and I went into, because a lot of my family is from Georgia, because I have family from the Caribbean as well. Because I myself, my dad is from Trinidad, and he was born, and I was born in Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? I was raised here in America though. But my family,
Do the right thing. You
what?
gonna take the conversation so
So Black Americans, what she said, the 12
the
tribes
oh
of
yeah, Hebrew
Israel
Israelites.
are the true child. I'm not answering. Because I don't get into that
We
foolishness
the
with
real
Oh,
these.
Jews.
I don't get into this
oh
foolishness
man.
with these Israelites and this
Yeah.
foolishness. I don't get into that foolishness. But
Yeah, but I
anyway,
even
but
feel like we are truly, we sprouted the world, we populated the world. So I do kind of agree with that sentiment. But let me let you finish before we.
so I did my genealogy. I went to Georgia. I went to where they hold the vital records at, and I looked into my family history and looked into my and saw what tribes that we were from, American tribes. And when you
What
when
can
you
I
talk
ask what they
about
were called? Sorry.
what
Can I ask what they were called? Just
they
for
that
educational purposes.
these the all of these quote unquote Native Americans, these tribes that all these Native Americans have, the names they have. Cherokee is the most popular
Mm-hmm.
one.
Cherokee,
Cherokee,
Blackfoot,
Seminoles.
yeah.
something different though. Like that
Right.
was renamed by the white.
They were called something different. It's
Mhm.
because when they came here, they took on the identity, they took on our identities, because I want you to also look up reclassification, the reclassification of the Negro. Reclassification of the Negro will tell you all the different
Mhm.
categories
Heard about
that we are now under, because the first name that we were under were Indian. That's the first name that we were under. And then they changed the Indian and they changed it to Negro. Then they changed us to black. Then they changed us to African American. And then now some people still use black. So when a lot of these tribes that are known to be Native American tribes, those were actually our tribal names. Those were actually our names. Because
Interesting.
Native Americans are from Siberia. They are not indigenous people to this country. They're from Siberia. And we were here thousands and thousands of years before they even set their, I was gonna say something nasty, but I'm not gonna say it.
Mhm.
But
Oh Lord, let's end it positive.
yeah, we're gonna end on a positive note. But as I said before, they are not indigenous people to this land. So-called black people, we're the only indigenous people to this land. They are not. All of their tribal names they took and they stole from us. Cherokee, Seminole, Choctaw, Blackfoot, on and on and on and on. Those are our original tribe names. Those are not theirs. When
I will
the
say I do find it interesting that every time you talk to a black person, we all say, "Oh, I got this Indian in me. I got that because I got Cherokee black." We all got Indian somehow, some way in our DNA. So
Well, and that is what all of our grandmothers ever told us,
Mm-hmm.
that we were Indians, that we were
Mm-hmm.
Indians. My grandmother ain't never told me that none of her family ever came from Africa, and nobody else that I ever know grandmother ever told them that they came from Africa. And there's a reason why. And it's not, oh, we got Indian in our family. We got Indian. No, 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 no. You are the Indian. You don't have Indian in your family.
Now,
You
can you
are
tell
the
us the
Indian.
genealogy site you use that you recommend so we don't get scammed
It's
or
not a
conned with
site.
frogs?
It's not a site. You
Mm-hmm.
have to, what you can do is, you see ancestry.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Ancestry.com, that will tell you your, when you put in your grandmother's names
Mm-hmm.
and your grandfather's last name, it'll give you that information. You have to take that information and you have to go to, like I said, wherever it is in where you're from or where your family's from, and you have to go and look up your vital records, and
Oh,
you
okay.
have
Y'all
to
have all
do
the
the
names.
research on your
Okay.
family.
So go to the vital
Yeah,
records.
we just
Okay.
Right.
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's how you do your That's how you do your
Okay.
genealogy.
yeah. Oh, Empress, one more question before we get out of here. So Pangea, as far as like the world being connected together,
Yeah.
you don't think about that, like as far as like life started
No,
in Africa and then
that
they
was at one point. That was at one point. We're all there was the land was connected at one point. It was. Everything like this, like, okay, like when here in North America, we are, the, like they say, okay, now it's the Caribbean, right? Because now
Mhm.
it's separate. But it was all one at one point.
Right.
So when you talk about people in the northern atmosphere, we're all related. You understand what I'm saying? Even though that there's a big division right now, but
Mhm.
we just had different tribes. You understand what I'm saying? That's all. We had different tribes and we had different cultures amongst us, but all of us are all cousins. You understand what I'm saying? Those are all our people.
Right. So life did start in Africa and we all sprouted all over, right?
No.
I can't stand you, AT0. I cannot stand you.
AT2, I'm not
You're like, no, that's
entertaining.
not what I'm saying.
I ain't entertaining AT2 and his foolishness. Like I said, like
I was trying
I'm
to see
not.
how I felt I could get.
I'm not entertaining I'm not. I am not. I'm sticking. This is my story, and I'm
Okay.
sticking to
She
it,
said she's
and
sticking
that's
to her
what it
honey.
I
is.
respect it. I really do. I appreciate you, Empress, for coming on. Like I really like this discussion. We got to do a
Yes.
part two.
No, we have to, and we're going to do, we need to have a discussion on it, and we need to have a real discussion on it. And
Yeah,
when I want you to do research. I want you to do some
yeah,
research, and
Yes,
I
ma'am.
and when you know what I'm saying, and then come back and
We can
have
compare.
another conversation
Hmm.
about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because as I said, this the America. We are the alpha and the omega. It's not nowhere else. This is our motherland. You
right.
understand? That's
And it's
their motherland over there. That's their motherland. It's true. It is the motherland to them. But this is our motherland. This is our land. This is where we come from.
right.
Nobody ain't
And
never
Dan Calloway, right?
Dane Calloway.
Dan
Yes.
Calloway. That's
And
You
what it
need to
is.
then
do a
there
full
is
video on this AT2. Do your
And then
research.
there is another person I want you to go check out some of his videos. His name is Legendary Top Cats.
Hmm.
He's on YouTube as well.
Oh, okay, I
Oh,
found it too.
and damn, what's this other guy that I follow? His name is it's UT. I'm gonna send it to you in on in your DMs, or I'm gonna either message you
Okay, yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
YouTube. And I'm gonna give you his information as well, because he gets really really deep into um even explaining how America is really Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think what I'm saying right now is out of the box, you wait till you hear what he got to say. Yeah, it's gonna really send
Oh,
you. It's gonna really really send you, because bottom line is, yo, I just want to, you know what I'm saying, tell us as melanated people, yo, we've been living a lie all our lives, and it's time for us to stop living a lie, and it's time for us to start waking up and learn who we really are, so that eventually we can take our land back. It's going to take
Amen.
a while, but we need to do that, because as long as we keep going around here talking about we from Africa and and even calling ourselves black, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. Cause you know what them crackers gonna tell us? They gonna tell us, you know what? Okay, well then you need to go. Like we be talking about reparations. You
Yeah.
want reparations, but you're saying that you're an African American, but you want reparations. How you gonna want reparations, but you from somewhere else? Reparations is for people that have had things taken away from them on their own soil. That's what reparations is for. Reparations ain't for people that came from nowhere else. Just like a person that come from the Caribbean, they can't come here and get reparations. You got to go to England and get your reparations, because England was the one who came and colonized you. How you gonna ask for reparations if you saying you from somewhere else? The story. What's the story? AT2. The story
right,
is that the Africans in Africa sold us over here to Africa, right? So then, if we want reparations, then we should be going over there.
right. Well, yeah, but I also want us to think too, like as far as reparations, it's not just for slavery. It's because Jim Crow and all the laws, and to basically what we were supposed to be promised after Reconstruction,
Yes,
plus
but it
what
was,
happened.
but the bottom line is that if you came here, right? If we were brought here from somewhere else at the hands of our quote unquote own people, and came here to suffer by the hands of somebody else, you got to go back to the person, and you got to go back to the people that put you in that hardship. Because technically, the way they look at it is, if, hey, we don't owe you nothing. Your own people was the ones who sold you over here. You got to go over there and take it up with them. And then on top of that, we keep calling ourselves black. You keep calling yourself African American. So if you an African, then go to Africa and get your reparations. That's the way, and I'm telling you, that's the way they look at it. And that's why it's taken us so long to get anything. Because guess what? The Jewish people got reparations, the
Yeah,
Japanese got reparations,
Everybody
right?
but us.
but they got it from the United States.
And they got it from the
Which is
United
even more
States
slap in the
because,
face.
which exactly, thank you, exactly. And guess what? They never called themselves anybody but who they are.
That is true.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
let me ask. Oh, go
well,
ahead,
hold on,
H2.
hold on, because I'm in the show right now.
Oh,
What I want to say is, at the end of the day, I don't think necessarily it's about the name we call ourselves. I think at the end of the day, they just don't fucking like us.
And
that
AT2, it
part.
does have to do with the name you call yourself because your name is your identity. What do you identify with? Black is a color. It is not an ethnicity. It is not who you are.
Well, so was white.
When you put African in front of the American, that means that first, guess what you are? You're an African before you're an American.
So what if they use the name Sulani? Like, they still wouldn't give a damn about us. Like, that's what I'm telling you, Bruce. Like, at the end of the day,
And what I'm trying to
they
tell you at
don't
the end
fuck
of
with
the
us at all.
day,
Like, they don't care.
you're looking at it as that, but what I'm telling you how they look at it as a broader spectrum, they look at it as a identity and what you identify with, and that is the bottom line. Who are you identifying with? Who are you? Who are you, AT2? Who are you? Is that who you are?
Well, yeah, that's who I am.
Okay,
AT2.
so that's who you are. So when you come up and you say, "Well, I think that I should be owed this as a black man, or I think I should be owed this as an African American man," be ready for the response that you're going to get because I'm telling you, it's going to go off of identity and who you identify with and who that you know that you are. Because let me tell you something, all these terms, this African American, black, FBA, and all of this bullshit. You think you're gonna go up to the government talking about, yeah, I'm an FBA, yeah, and I want my land back, and I want my money, I want my reparations, I'm an FBA. Yeah, they're gonna tell you, get your black ass up out of here. Get your FBA ass up out of here, okay? Cause you ain't getting shit. Okay? Cause unless you come in with that paperwork, like I said, and know who you are and know who your family is and know where you're from, all that other shit, like I said, it's identity. That's what's going to get you where you are, where you need to be, what you identify with, and who you really are. So keep going around here identifying yourself as a black, as black and African American, and you ain't gonna get nowhere with that FBA. Yeah, for all these FBA people out here. Yeah, keep identifying with that bullshit and see where it's gonna get you. Yeah,
Oh
so
Lord.
yeah, let's well, so anyways, I'm gonna get in your DMs.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
get in
yeah,
your
yeah,
messages.
definitely. Send
Yeah,
me
I'm gonna get in your messages and
like
hit
I'm
you
really
up
gonna look
so
at it.
that we can actually, you can have a live and we can really, what I'm saying, talk about this and you know what I'm saying, and
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 I'm having my questions ready because he said he ended, and I sure have some more questions. But this was really good. This
uh,
was really good. We appreciate you, Miss Empress, for coming back up and giving us all the lecture.
girl, is this AT2? Is this AT2 live or Lady T live? Or y'all is co-pay? Cause she talking about some
This is Empress Live, honey. This
we
Empress Live.
appreciate you.
Empress, you took over, so it's your line.
Wait, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on, 82. I was saying we as a people. We as a people. We as a
No,
people.
I said she must be the new co-host. She said we appreciate you coming up here,
No, we as
girl.
a people. You gave us
Yeah,
knowledge, sister. That's all. That's all. It's all love. It's all
yeah.
love.
I just want to give you something to think about. You understand
Yes,
what I'm
ma'am.
saying?
Yes,
Because,
ma'am.
like I said, this is what the story that we've been told all these years. Black people start thinking out of the box and start using the brain that God gave you. You understand what I'm saying? And stop going with the
Mhm.
narrative that you have been taught by somebody else about. That's all I'm saying. So,
Right. Do your research.
do your research.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
agree. All right. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Lady T, for coming up. I appreciate y'all. Like, this was a dope conversation, and I can't wait for part two.
Absolutely.
No, AT2, seriously, not a joke. We seriously need to
No,
do
no,
this
no.
for
I'm
real.
serious about no, I'm serious about part 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we still
Okay.
gonna argue in battle. So all right, I love y'all. Thank
Bye,
you for
y'all.
All right.
everybody,
Bye.
thank you for blessing my platform. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yes, and Lady T, I appreciate you too. Thank you for being so open. So thank you. Hello?
You're welcome. Anytime.
Bye, Lady T. All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the conversation. Like, I don't do long videos like this, but I was like, this is something like I definitely want to continue the conversation. So this was something like it took me by surprise, and I'm happy that we had this conversation. Because again, like I told you guys, the backup channel, it's gonna be a little different. I'm not gonna be so hateful and so going at people. Hey, Madgie and Ralph, I apologize. Y'all no longer bums and all that stuff. So, hopefully y'all get over it. But AT2 done let it go. So be happy. All right, y'all. I love y'all. We out. Deuces. Oh, hold on. Before we get out of here, we gotta do another promo. Don't forget about the meetup in August 21st to the 23rd. See you guys there. Love y'all. We out.